Now, we now have this guy that has an opinion on the big three, big four arguments.
Okay.
And I don't know what you think is valid, but
Okay, you know what? Let's
guy,
hear.
let
Let's
him
play it
cook.
because I've actually heard it. But let's
He's in
play
the
it.
kitchen right now,
He said
so
it's kind of crazy how Ashake has no song as big as Ira Star's Rush or Thames Wait for You and Free Mind, but he's the one being added to Big Four conversations with Rema.
Do you know why I don't like the conversation?
Why?
Because we keep trying to force a fourth position on the big three. I don't
Mm.
enjoy it. Personally, I see big three
So
as
when Rema said it, you
yes.
didn't
I was not on board with it. I was to stand on. I was to stand on that position. It's like, yeah, nigga, like you're one of the next big three. Let's move on to the next big three, okay? Like trying to sit on the same plane as Burna, Davido, and wizkid, bruh, it's not.
Yeah.
Retro at this point, I think it's kind of distasteful to the likes of Tiwa, the likes of Olamide, likes of kids, obviously people that are obviously fall in the conversation of that big three and that big league. I think like, bro, these people are putting in years and decades and built a legacy of their own. And I get it that the new guys have obviously in a lot of ways surpassed where we can call a peak for a pop act. And I get that. It's the evolution of the music space. The youngest are supposed to be outdoing the OGs. So it's a beautiful thing. And it's not, I feel like when we're trying to force another person from another generation into a big three conversation, it's like you are even saying like those other people in that generation don't even exist.
Okay.
what's your take on it?
All right. At first, I was against it. I feel I'm like, bro, don't do that. Don't try to say Rema does not have a spot in the big four. But towards the end, I felt like he's making sense in a way. I feel like he is actually making sense in the sense that there are actually other people. I think Rema should be more focused on being the next big three. Even in as much as I feel like Rema is big three, let me in my own opinion, I think Rema has a right to say, you know what, I'm in the big four. He has earned that right for him to say it. Because Rema's work, Rema's catalog, Rema's output has been phenomenal. It's still phenomenal. Rema did not just start yesterday. Rema started popping off in 2019. 2019, 2018. 2018, 2019. That's when Rema started popping off. So, in all fairness, you can't say Rema should not somehow say he's not part of that big four. But I still get what he said because he's trying to say, listen, there's still other people there that you can still try to say they are part of that big four. Because of the recency bias. No, there's that thing that recency bias because Rema is not the new thing that is hot
one
now.
on the
So
market.
yeah, and Ashake too now is not the one the same. That recency bias still goes for Ashake also. I think that's where people are coming from. Like, how is it that Ashake is in that conversation and Thames and Arasta is not in that conversation of Big Four?
I feel okay. So this is when I come in here. I feel like what he's saying here is valid, but at the same time, first of all, for the grown-ups or the past generation that are not included in the big three, maybe just Egbon tax is just using. Like, yeah,
I get the
they are
Egbon
big
tax.
guys. Yeah, they have done their work. None of them match up to what Rema has done. Like recent, like, and that big three, yeah, is as of recent time.
But that,
Because they've always been a big whatever. Like let's say during the time of P Square and they had their own big three, people that were popping off. Maybe they might have not categorized them as their own big three, but if we're to be
we really
doing
look back at it, it was
they had their
P-Square,
own
the Bunch, and let me say
Two-Face, yeah.
P-Square, the Bunch, and Two-Face.
exactly. There was their own big, but right now there's a big three in our own present time.
Our present time,
And they
that's
might have
Wizkid,
been reigning, yeah, and Burna Boy might have been reigning from a past generation, but till now they are still. So now Rema has now come into the game, and he has done. Rema said something in one of his interviews here. He said one of the reasons why niggas don't want to give him. I'm not quoting him bar for bar, so. But what he was basically saying was one of the reasons why niggas don't want to give him his flowers is because they feel like in such short time he has done so much.
Yeah, okay, I seen that
So they feel
interview.
like he has jumped some
Yeah,
steps.
yeah.
But fuck that, it was his work, it's his doings. And his doings were that big. And if we're being honest, no more days of a big, it's not a big for people go para, but what for? Like he has the reason. There's a reason for it. Ashake has not done So if people,
I don't
people
think-
that
I
are
don't
adding,
think- I
people,
don't
people
think-
that are talking like, oh, Ashake is not there, why is Thames not there? Thames, Ashake and Rasta, they've not done what Rema has done. Their catalog, their whole discography is not up to Rema.
It's not
So
to Rema. I feel like people are really forgetting that Rema has been on a ride, on a wave
Exactly.
since 2018. Right from when it came out, Rema has not dropped off one bit. Instead, he has just been progressing.
growing, and his growth is tremendous.
His growth is there.
So he has really earned that spot. So what this guy is saying here is true. Yeah, you have like, I see your point, but it's kind of
I feel like it's OG tax that he's trying to give them,
Yeah.
which you said it's OG tax. But the OG tax is OG tax that I feel like some of them and like someone like Olamide. I feel like Olamide has earned that OG tax well enough because of what Olamide has even done for the industry. Olamide has given us dope artists that has given us bangers and hits back to back to back. Olamide, it's because of Olamide we have Ashake. It's because of Olamide we have Fireboy. It's because of Olamide we have Adekunle Gold. It's because of Olamide we have Lil Kesh. Olamide is like the next big talent producer in Nigeria after Don Jazzy. And not only that, I'm not trying to say it's only that makes Olamide, but Olamide still has been giving us, even though he has not done it in an international stage, which is Olamide's fault. I personally, I like to fault Olamide for that because I think it's his fault. Because I remember that time when this whole like almost like pandering to the outside community to try to get all of that. Olamide was one of those people that said, listen, Fela did not do all of those things. I'm not about to start doing it. I can remember very well when Olamide said that, and he said he wasn't going to try to do anything for outside people. He's just doing his own thing here. That's why Olamide is not out there like the rest of them.
so like then why are we having this conversation?
No. I feel like if there's anybody that has NOG tax, Olamide has in my own book. I think Olamide has, and I get what he's saying. Where I'm like, I still get Rema saying he's big four. I'm still comfortable with Rema saying he's big four, but at the same time, I can still see how someone is saying Rema shouldn't be fighting for big four. Instead, Rema should be fighting for his own generation now, because it's his own pride now. In as much as he came in the time of when all these other people are fading. Remember, Rema did not come in the height of wizkid. Wizkid is dying off. Davido is dying off. Burna Boy picked off, but is almost dying off also.
Allegedly. I ain't see that shit coming soon.
Okay, you don't want to admit it, but
Burna Boy is there.
Rema, I'm not saying not at the rate at which Wizkid and Davido is, but Burna Boy is already fading off. Slowly but surely, Burna Boy is fading off a little bit. We can admit that Burna Boy is fading off a little bit. His time is already coming to a just like Two-Face, just like everybody. I'm not saying he's going to drop off. He's not going to drop off. He's still going to be there, but he's no longer like Burna Boy of 2020, Burna Boy of 2021. He has not done anything. His last song was very big, but no. Let's watch and see. But in my own book, I look at it like Rema is coming up at a time whereby all these big names are already going up. So it's easy for him to enter this conversation and say, yeah, I'm big. So instead of him to take it away from himself, if he's trying to put himself in this category, I feel like he's almost doing himself a little bit of a disservice. Because if you remember when we always talk about Rema, when I first heard Rema, what was the first thing I said about Rema? I said Rema is the next generation whiskey. He's the one that's going to push Afrobeat to the next light. So for him to be trying to tag himself with this old generation, I feel like he's doing himself a little bit of a disservice.
I don't think he's doing this. I need to cut you short there. So.
Okay, all right.
But I feel like Rema has just looked at it that this is his generation right now. There's no worthy competitors with him. There's nobody on his level. So he has to match up with people on that level.
That's such a bold.
Like, and this, I feel like even this big three statements here, it is big three. It's not overall big three. It's not all-time best, because if you are doing all-time, then there are musicians that are better than. I feel like this bit is based off recency bias.
No, it's not based off recency bias.
Because okay. If it is not based off recency bias, it was first big two. We know that it was just Wizkid and Davido. Then Burna Boy puts in that work for it to be big three. Now Rema has put in that work.
Burna Boy put in that work back in 2016, 2017.
Yes,
But Burna Boy started coming back into the scene.
Yes,
but the thing you're forgetting about Burna Boy is that Burna Boy didn't blow 2016. Burna Boy had been in the picture since 2012.
I've been Burna Boy fan back.
We
in
know
the
that
day,
Burna Boy
yeah.
has been in the picture. It's just that
But what
Nigeria
I'm
did not
saying,
just celebrate
but
it.
exactly that's just what I'm saying is that when Burna Boy ended his spot, it became a big three.
Even in saying Burna Boy end his spot, I don't think Burna Boy. I feel like Burna Boy's spot was not just given to him. He had already ended that spot right from the first single he dropped. This
As a
big
Burna
three
Boy
conversation.
fan, yeah, I don't really think he had ended that spot
I don't
yet.
think no. When you say
Because
let me
that
explain
spot is
myself.
that the outward appreciation, like from outside, from the whole, even on a general note, Burna Boy.
Do you know the reason? If you're ever talking about it,
Oh, yeah.
the song that gave Burna Boy his fame. Have you heard how Burna Boy made the song? He was fucking drunk when he made that song. It's not like he put in a lot of work to that song that made him famous. And that song made him famous not because of it's not because of anything, it's not because of the promotion that he did, it's all because of Kanye West. It's because of what happened with Kanye West. What me I'm trying to explain to you right now is that Burna Boy had already ended his spot, but Nigeria was just too blind to see, to give it to him. It's just the sad thing that happened. He didn't even get his recognition here in Nigeria. He got his recognition outside.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Outside
Burna
has
Boy.
nothing more. No, what I'm trying to let you know is that this big three conversation, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're saying, that Burna Boy ended. Burna Boy came in. What I'm just trying to point to you is that I wouldn't say he ended. I'm saying he has already been that thing since. But people were just not tuned to him. So you could say it's recency bias, but you're saying it's recency bias in the sense that, people are just getting in tune to the Burna Boy. But Burna Boy has already been part of that big three conversation amongst the people that already even know Burna Boy. He had already been in that conversation. If you go and check his catalog, songs that Burna Boy dropped as of 2012 is still banging, would still sell hit records today. So saying that, oh no, maybe Burna Boy got his own recognition in 2016 or 2000 or 2000. It's not 2016 that thing happened to him. It was 2018 here that whole thing with Kanye West happened. That he now became all famous. So it's for Burna Boy, it's not a recessive bias like the way it is for Rema. Rema just became new. He had been in the game. But when you're talking of big three, you're talking of people that have been in the game for a long time. The people at least why we're putting in the hard work in from the beginning. Him coming in.
We cannot use that. We cannot use that
How will
to.
you not use that?
We cannot use that to put somebody out because of he has
You're
not
putting
been.
him out.
It is the result. That's the thing. It's the result that matters. It's not
result still
how
matters,
long
but
you
no
take.
No longer in the conversation. What this guy is trying to say is that it's no longer in the conversation of that big three. It's not the conversation of a new generation. Let him. He has solidified himself as the number one.
I feel like this big three will wash out. This big three
So
will wash out.
you're saying when this big three wash out, Rema should still be in the conversation of the next generation big three.
Exactly, because
Is he not eating his cake and having it back? Like, how is it still going
they
to be?
ate their own cake and have it back. They were the big three of their generation. They are still being the big three of this present
Their
generation.
is just dying off. Their own time
Exactly.
is just
Then
dying
when
off.
then their own time will die off. Then Rema's
Nobody put.
then Rema will come and be the head of his. I feel like
let me put this for you. Nobody put wizkid in the same conversation with P-Square and the Badge and Two-Face. Nobody
because
put
he was
that
not
together.
doing as much as they were as they did.
Wizkid was the first Nigerian. Wizkid was the one that first. Wizkid was arguably one of the first Nigerian artists that got international fame very well.
And when he did that, what did he gain? Number one spot.
Number one spot. But
You
guess
forgot
what?
that.
But guess
You
what?
forgot.
But
Wait,
guess what?
you
Yes,
actually
number one spot.
you actually
But
forget
number one
that.
spot for our generation, not for P-Square and not to
You are adding generation to this thing.
Of course, now there's a no. You cannot. Say
I don't think it's supposed to be a generation, a generational
It's a
this
time
thing
lapse.
on
It's a
it.
time lapse. It's just like saying, okay, me and John started a race. Me and John started a race around 12. Okay, we started a race around 12 p.m. right? And the race is supposed to end at 12 a.m. Now you are coming into that race at 9 p.m. I am not coming to tell me and John that I've started the race at 12 p.m. that you are now going to collect number one. Of course, you're going to say you are going to collect number one because you just joined the whole conversation.
That's a flawed example.
How?
It does not really relate to this. Because
Let me bring you back. Okay, how?
Because what Rema is doing is not just saying that he's part of the big three just because of oh, he just come and he's recent. Not just because he's recent.
It's
but
because
he
a
has,
lot of the reasons.
There are other artists that also came out and were popping on the same length, on the same level, on the same generation with Rema.
No.
You cannot tell me Rema was not dragging.
No.
Rema beat those people.
Rema
No,
is to
I
people
don't
that did not
agree.
understand.
I feel like
this thing,
I feel like this thing is very, very flawed. This big three conversation is like, it's timeless. It's a timeless.
No, it's not timeless.
It's just a
It's not a
sport
timeless
day.
thing. It's not a timeless. It's just like
the top four in the country.
It's just like saying, oh, Messi and Ronaldo. Now that Messi and Ronaldo is died, then Vinicius is not among Messi and Ronaldo. Then no, Vinicius is not among Messi and Ronaldo. Vinicius
Because
is
it's not among, because he does not have, he cannot be among because he does not have as much goals. That's what I'm saying. He does not have as much goals. If he has as much goals as Ronaldo and Messi, if he has as much goals, as much Ballon d'Or, then he's as big as them. Then he is.
Hold on.
It is your results.
Let's not get too far away from the argument. What I'm trying to tell you is that let me bring you back to that same analogy that I used. Wizkid, Davido, Burnaboy started this game in 2010, respectively 2010, 2011, 2012.
Yes.
That's when these three people started this whole competition, this whole thing. At that time when they were doing all these things, it has not a click in our head that we're looking at the birth of a big three. We were just enjoying what they were putting out as young superstars coming out. Even though they were pulling numbers, what he said, it is because of the things that these people had said. That is what Rema is enjoying. It's the things that P-Square, Don Jazzy, The Bunch, Two-Face had said. That's what Wizkid was enjoying when he came into the picture. Now, Wizkid was going off the back of these people, but nobody at that time was saying Wizkid is on the same level as the Bunch and P-Square, because no, those ones are OGs. Those ones have done what they want to do. They are already fading off. They are no longer as hot as they used to be. Now, Wizkid was already doing this thing. He has been doing this thing for how many years? Over 10 years plus now. Now, Rema is now coming towards the end of the stretch of the race. And it's coming in hot. Of course, it's coming in hot. But do you know why it's so hot? It's because of Wizkid has already gone and made international wave outside. They are now more accepting of Nigerian musicians and more things that Nigerians do. That's why Rema has this platform to go to be breaking big charts. I am not taking away Rema's hard work and all the things that he has done. Of course, all those things are valid and he has done them. It's his hard work that puts him there. But you cannot now honestly say that you now put him in the same conversation with people that already started the race since they are already not dying off. You're not trying to attach him inside and say, oh yes, he has to still be with them. No, he can no longer be with them. He has to now create his own generation. For his own generation, for this own new time, he's not the one that's now going to spearhead the next phase of Afrobeat. That is what I am seeing now. He has changed the whole game. I feel like I get what he's saying when he's trying to say, because of right now is the conversation that is being had as of right now.
I feel like this is a very, very
Afrobeat. But we, the custodians of Afrobeat, we that have been listening to Afrobeat, that love this shit, that has been in this game for a long time, that have been looking at everything play out, we cannot honestly say that, oh no, Rema can come into the picture at this stage that everybody's dying off, and I say he's part of the big three. I get what he's saying, no. I get that he's saying he's part of the big four, and I get it. He's making wave. But where is he making this wave for? Did he start in 2010? Do you think if he has started in 2010, we still have the longevity that these people have had?
I guess that's what I'm saying,
because you cannot say that does not.
I don't see. Look at him. I feel like it is kind of unfair to take out the fact that because of what they've done back in the day, so we cannot now give Rema his full bouquet of flowers.
But he's not giving a full bouquet of flowers.
You are not, because if you are, then you accept the fact that he's actually part of this big. Because then by that, Wizkid and Davido and Burna Boy, they are not what this big three conversation to, because there are people that have already paved the way before them.
I don't even understand what you just said now.
You just said right now, that why we cannot include Rema in this conversation is because there are people that have paved the way for him to get this recognition.
What I'm saying
that's
is,
what you said.
No, what I'm saying is that we cannot say he's on the same level of with them, because this part already paved the way for him to be in this position where he's at now.
Okay.
So you cannot, in all fairness,
in all fairness, will you say Wizkid is better than, or he should be on the same par with Flavor and P-Square, that whole generation? P-Square.
It's not a fair comparison, because they were two different generations. The struggles, you are trying to look at this thing and removing away the reality of the struggle that these people faced. You're throwing away a huge part of this whole conversation that you're just trying to omit and throw away like it does not mean anything. These people face struggles that guess what Wizkid did not face. And Rema is facing things that Rema is facing things that Rema is not facing things that Wizkid faced at the time when Wizkid was coming out. There are doors that Wizkid had to break down before he could enter. That Rema is not going to face all those challenges because there is already Wizkid had already broken down those walls.
Wizkid predecessors also did the same for him.
That's
You cannot
what
tell
I'm
me
trying
that
to
it was
say.
just
That's what I'm trying to say. So Wizkid, I cannot now be having a conversation now and say, oh, Wizkid and start comparing Wizkid and P-Square together. I cannot compare them. Those people. Have you ever seen people really sitting down to say, oh, Wizkid and P-Square? No, because of those people are different. Their own genre. I even listened to the way they were singing before. It's very different from the way Wizkid was singing and what the things they were doing.
But then we can also agree right now,
Yeah.
that there cannot be two big three conversation or two big. There has to be just one. So you know that you're saying that okay, Rema should wait until these ones die out.
No, but
because
everybody's already giving him his flowers. As of right now,
they're giving him his flowers as a different on his
as
own.
a new big three conversation.
I feel like he has earned his spot to be in big four. When these ones die out, there will be a new big three. Then whoever is on his.
So wait. So you're saying now that when P-Square, when Two-Face and burnaboy and Davido die out now, Rema should still be the one in the conversation for the next big three.
Yes.
Because guess what? That is his generation. No,
Their new artists are coming up right now.
I don't agree.
I feel like it's a seamless transition. But people are now making it more of like, oh, it's a generational after this one. Of course, that generation will have their own big 3 years. They'll have their own big 3. And when we're having this argument, but no, right now they are still in the game. Let me tell you, one thing is that so far as they are still in the game with the youngins, if they are ranking youngins, if you are not doing as much as them, you say because if you want to collect head boy tax, then you should leave the game for them. You should have let them step down.
How you say they should just leave the game? Wait,
they cannot leave. That's why they have to collect. They are subjected to these things. That's just it. As long as you are still in the game and they are ranking this thing.
You said something that makes sense.
Yeah.
You said something that I said. If they are still in the game, they should be dragging this thing.
Yes.
Right now, yes, Rema should be dragging. He's the hottest artist out right now. Nobody should try to take it away from him because yes, Rema is the hottest artist out right now. He's hot, but he's not in the big three based on the conversation of generation at the time at which these people started doing the run till this point where they are. These people are already at their last lap. You cannot now come in now and now say, okay, I must be among this whole three at the end of the lap when you didn't start the race with them. How is it so hard for you to comprehend?
It's just what I'm saying is that it's unfair, yes, but
it's unfair.
It's unfair, but that's life. You move on with You move on with it because when you now try to now draw these laws, you now start to open a whole lot of
what again?
Okay, they started in this particular time. Yeah, they are the big three.
Yes,
but this same run, on this same run, they are still dropping music and they are still popping. Now, someone else has come into the game. And this old big three conversation is of recency. Is up like who are the top. If you have to mention who are the top three, these are the top three. It's not based off what.
But you're saying it's based off recency, but guess what? The only reason why they are still even naming these people is because of some of the things that they've done before that led them up to this place. Nobody is saying Wizkid is the biggest artist now because of Wizkid 2020. All this conversation is coming from Wizkid.
And then I guess we just have different definition of big.
No.
Of the big
Wait,
three.
am I
Honestly.
confused? Is it me that's not getting it?
Honestly. Because I believe you have a different opinion.
I genuinely believe that.
I feel like your own belief of big three is the fact that this generation, these are the big three in that generation.
Yeah.
So you should leave it at that.
Yeah.
People that if you didn't start the race with these people, you should not be in the rankings with them.
Yeah.
But me, I believe that so long as you are still in the race, whatever.
Comment section. Let's end this call. Comment section. Let us know. Do you agree? Do you agree with what he said?
Or do you agree with what I'm saying?
Let us know in the comment section.